Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast. Here we are once again chatting about whatever comes to mind. And what's coming to mind for me right now is that I recently heard someone say the phrase in a conversation with me, "What am I making this mean about me?" OMG. That made me really stopped. It was an abrupt interruption for me. It got my brain doing this whole rabbit hole thing because every situation we're in is subject to our interpretation of what we are making it mean. We're making it mean something, aren't we? I mean, when something happens, a situation, an occurrence, we notice it, we participate in it, we react, etc. But then we inevitably let it take on a meaning about us in relationship to that occurrence. And I love the part of that sentence, the making it part. Making. We're actively making it mean something. It's a choice. When something happens that makes us afraid or makes us mad or makes us frustrated, it's not really making us anything. It's not making us do anything or feel anything. I am making this mean something. I am choosing. I am blocking this. This thing that is happening is an offer. Whatever it is, we know that. Perhaps it's a series of offers. But whatever the situation, it is an offer. And if I make it about fear or mad or frustrated or whatever, it's because I am making this set of conditions say something about me in my story. It says I failed, or it says I'm not good enough, or it says I'm afraid, or it says I'm weak, or it says they don't like me, or it says they don't want me to be here, or it says I'll never get this chance again, or whatever it says. It's me making it mean that. We're giving the situation the power. We're allowing it to be a block to what we think should be happening. We're allowing ourselves to see that not as a gift, not as an opportunity, not as an offer, which everything is, right? Everything is an offer. We're treating the situation like it has an innate power over us. It does not. What am I making this mean about me is this fabulous question to wake us up. I mean, I always say that improvisation is learned present moment thinking, right? When we are asking, what am I making this mean about me? It's a great opportunity to pull us back into the present moment. Because if something happens or I do something or I say something or someone else says something and I make it mean more than it is, I'm changing the future and I'm changing the past. I am making this moment and many other moments into something other than just is, right? I'm not letting this moment be what it is. I am giving it a grander context in terms of past and future. Because if I feel bad about something that happened, I'm focused in the past. And if I feel bad about something, and I'm just using bad as a generalization, but if I feel bad about something that I'm afraid is going to happen, then my mind is in the future. My mind is in the past. My mind is in the future. Eckhart Tolle says, right, something to the effect of that the only time that we feel pain is when our focus is in the past or in the future, because in this present moment, we have no problem. If our attention is in the present, right, Eckhart Tolle and the power of now, right, the power of now is that this moment is completely within our power and our control to make it mean whatever we choose to make it mean. This moment just is. If I'm adding, I'm judging, I'm censoring, I'm expecting, or I'm super activating my presets, right? Remember that presets are expectation, justification, limiting beliefs, right? preconceived notions. Those are our presets. And that's what I call presets, right? And our presets, we drag them with us from the past. And when we do that based on something that has happened before, then we're making a choice to apply that context to current and future situations. I'm making a choice about what this thing that's already happened means about me. And I'm making a choice about how my future is going to go for as long as I hold on to that meaning. And we think, oh, it's going to mean this down the line, or it's going to mean that, or whatever. And you remember what Dr. Robert Barry said, that you cannot do anything in the future because by the time you get there, it's the present, right? So, right, if we say we're going to do something 10 minutes in the future, when it's 10 minutes later than when we said that, that's the present, right? So every moment is the present moment, that we get to choose what this, whatever this is, means about us, means about me. So asking the question is a powerful, powerful interruption. Where is my attention in this moment, right? What am I making this mean about me? Gives me a chance to say, how am I breathing in this moment? How am I thinking in this moment? How am I feeling in this moment? And what am I making this moment mean? And how am I letting this moment reflect on my sense of myself? What does the way I'm thinking right now say about how I feel about me? It doesn't just have to be that we have to go, oh, what am I making this mean about me? And whatever it is, if I'm feeling bad, it's probably a negative, and so stop it, right? But when we say, what am I thinking right now? What does that say about how I feel about me? When we ask ourselves those questions, it gives us an opportunity to grow. It gives us an opportunity to learn, because even in the noticing of what we are, quote, making this mean about us, that noticing is us offering to ourselves an opportunity to learn and grow and shift. It's only if we block it by not acknowledging it, by not exploring it, by not looking at it, that we block the opportunity to grow from the offer of asking ourselves that question and participating in the noticing. This moment just is. This moment, this breath, this beautiful moment is what it is right now. I'm sitting here talking to you, and you and I have very, very, very likely never met and may never meet. But we are converging in this moment. Our energies are commingling. We are sharing a moment. You are having all kinds of ideas based on things that you're hearing me say, possibly on the other side of the planet from where you are right now. I am when I'm talking. And that's amazing. You're having a moment right now, and you'll have another moment and another and another and another. And some of those moments will constitute events when you string those moments together. And then you'll place meaning on the event. And if we can place meaning on an event, we can pull it apart and place meaning on the moments, right? The value of each moment, allowing each moment to be precious and positively an opportunity for us to offer into it, to accept it, and to offer into it. When you notice what the meaning you are placing on things reflects to you about you, then that is you giving you an opportunity to grow, to learn about yourself from yourself. We are our own best teachers because we've always got our higher self with us. We have always got the soulful self, the player, right? In spontaneous brilliance terms, we've always got the player. We are not disconnected. And so we always have that higher awareness able to teach us and show us and help us grow toward the fullest expression of our soulful self here in human form. And so when we can notice what meaning we are giving to a moment, what meaning we are giving to a happening, what meaning we are giving to an event, which is just a string of moments, then we can learn from that by saying, how does this reflect on what I think of myself? How I show up as the character of myself? What am I assuming is part of, an inherent part of the character I am playing here on the great stage of life? Am I assuming that my character always does this? Ooh, that's something that I just love to break young actors out of, is assuming that anything that a character does means they are always going to respond in X, Y, or Z range to other stimuli, right? We don't think of characters that we play on the stage or in a game as being limited to a specific narrow range of choices. We wouldn't want to play them. Then they would be boring. They would be boring to watch in a movie. They would be boring to watch in a play. Everyone in every moment has the full spectrum of choices. And when we are surprised by a character in a film or in a play, that's when we get entertained the most, when we are surprised by the choice. So we can surprise ourselves by the choice to see the moment another way, to flip the script, to let ourselves choose differently, to let us make it mean the best possible meaning we can reflect into that moment for our highest, best good. One of the ways that we can help ourselves do that is to let go of the meaning that we're presuming it has for other people. In other words, if we do or say something and we view it as a mistake, a misstep, something we wish we hadn't done, or we didn't do it as well as we thought, or we were angry or we were upset and now we're embarrassed that we responded this way or whatever. If we can let go of the meaning that we're making it have for other people and how much real estate we think we take up in other people's thought process, a lot of times we are thinking that everybody's thinking this about me. Everybody's thinking that about me. Everybody, oh my gosh, those people are probably still thinking this about me. Newsflash for all of us. None of us are thinking about the rest of us. Most of the time we're thinking about ourselves. We're making things mean things about ourselves. And we're assuming that other people are paying just as much attention to what is happening to ourselves. But no, they're doing the same thing we're doing. They're making it mean something about them. Everybody is wondering. Everybody is wondering, what does this mean about me? And the tragedy is when we make it mean something perpetual, when we let it become a preset, when we've talked about here, or I've talked about for the last few minutes, about what happens when we drag our preset with us. And so we lay that on a situation. But it's even worse being as conscious as we are right now, doing our best to be conscious creators. It's more sad when we adapt a preset now, when we have something happen and knowing what we know and being as engaged in growing as we are, we then let it mean something perpetual that is a limiting belief, a judgment, an expectation, a preconceived notion that we are laying onto ourselves right now. Let us please stop doing that. That is never an offer. That is always a block. That is us blocking ourselves. I did a whole episode on blocking ourselves. It's back there somewhere. And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. But this is one of those ways when we block ourselves, where we decide that something we have done in this moment now is going to mean something about our life 10 moments from now. That's a choice. That's an absolute choice. So how can we help ourselves make sure that we're showing up in the present moment and not making things mean something that they don't need to? What are the spontaneous brilliance, improv, and acting ideas and concepts and techniques that can help us show up on the great stage of life? If something happened that we're seeing as an obstacle, what do? We embrace the obstacles. Say it with me. We embrace the obstacles. We know that that obstacle is an opportunity. That obstacle is an offer. That thing that feels like that big, hairy roadblock is an offer. And the way that we respond, because we have 100% response ability, we have the ability to respond to that roadblock, to that catastrophe, to that horrible, awful, no good, very bad day. We have the ability to respond to that. And we can make it mean how wonderful we are in our work with it. How wonderful the opportunity is for us to super grow right now, because we know that when we have that big, hairy obstacle, that's a big, hairy opportunity, and we must be really in high growth mode. The chrysalis on our life is cracking open in a big way. There's always a little resistance in that moment, always a little frustration and pain in that moment, but we can know that it is moving to a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled circumstance. If something happened and we are seeing that as a negative, and we flip it and say, what's the gift in this immediately? It doesn't mean anything bad about us. It doesn't mean anything bad at all. Remember Shakespeare's line, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so, from Hamlet. That is the important thing to remember. And the other principle, the Marioism, find the love. We always come back to that, right? Find the love. When you find the love for you and the love for this event, this moment, and whoever else was involved in it, when you get your character you are playing, locked in and linked in with your soulful self, you will see the love, because your higher self only sees love. So when you are seeing frustration and pain and fear and weakness and frustration, and I think I said frustration twice, but when you are seeing those things, then just relax into knowing that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are pure source energy. We all are. In spontaneous brilliance language, we are the player, our soulful self, playing a character, our egoic self, here on the great stage of life, otherwise known as planet Earth. I went into depth about this relationship in episode 8, Uniting Our Two Selves. And if you haven't heard it or read the Spontaneous Brilliance book, then do that. If you're interested in these things, we take it a lot further there. But here's the deal. We cannot disconnect from our soulful self. We are never disconnected from our soulful self, any more than an actor can exit the body of the character while it's still on stage. They are one and the same thing. The character does not exist without the actor. The actor exists off stage and on. And once the actor steps into that character, they are interconnected until the player steps off the stage. You're here. Your player is here. Your actor, player, whatever, is here. Your soulful self is here. It is not somewhere waiting for you to finish up this lifetime and exit. It is you. You are that pure source energy. That is what you mean. You are interconnected, one and the same. The connection is not conditional. The actor-player is playing the character intentionally, whether the story is happy or sad. The connection is not conditional. Just as I did an episode on joy is not conditional. Because you are pure joy. You are pure love. You are a pure source energy. Just a little slice of pure source energy. That's who we all are. And so what are we making this mean about us? What that means to me is that we can handle, we can transcend, we can offer into any situation that we are faced with. And all it means is that another gift, another opportunity, another precious moment is here. The alternative would be that we don't have another precious moment, but we do. So what am I making this mean about me? I am choosing to offer, to accept, and not to block. I am choosing to find the love. I am choosing to embrace the obstacles. I am choosing to take 100% responsibility for every offer that comes into my life. I am choosing to notice and revel in each present moment. And I am knowing that we all are glorious expressions of our soulful self in human form. And what that means is we're all about the love. Okay, my dears, I am hoping that you will take this and go out there, and when you feel that frustration, when you feel that sadness, when you feel that fear, ask yourself, what am I making this mean about me? Because it always means something to you. But what am I choosing? Let's shift that sentence a little bit. What am I choosing to let this mean about me? What am I choosing to let this teach me about me? What am I choosing to let this reflect to me about me? And as you do that, enjoy it. Whatever the answers are to those questions, enjoy the answer and then offer into them. All right? Remember, when in doubt, offer. If in doubt, you are probably blocking. And the more attached you are to the outcome, the more likely you are to block. So here we go, my dears. We are offering ourselves into another new moment post-podcast because this one's just about to end. All right. I want to thank you for being here with me again and have a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled day. The Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast is brought to you by Miracle Communications Group. Our producer is Michelle Oneida. Sound engineer is Corey Michaels at Corey Michaels Productions. Music is composed by Rex Miller. And I'm your host, Sandra Kavanaugh. You can learn more about me and all things Spontaneous Brilliance at sandrakavanaugh.com or spontaneousbrilliance.com. And please join the conversation here at the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast by emailing us at podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com.